especially when looking at nearly 2 decades of war where countless civilians have been killed, injured, and displaced at the hands of the U.S. and its allies. The U.S. is now firing back after top judges at the International Criminal Court gave the green light to move forward with a war crimes investigation into U.S. conduct in Afghanistan. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the U.S. does not recognize the ICC's authority over American citizens and has no plans to cooperate.
This is a truly breathtaking action by an unaccountable political institution masquerading as a legal body. It is all the more reckless for this ruling to come just days after the United States signed a historic peace deal on Afghanistan, which is the best chance for peace in a generation.
Pompeo's comments follow a decision from ICC appeals judges earlier Thursday, which confirmed that the investigation will target all sides in the conflict, including the U.S. military and the CIA.
The prosecutor is authorized to commence investigation in relation to alleged crimes committed on the territory of Afghanistan in the period since 1st May 2003.
The U.S. invaded Afghanistan less than 1 month after 9/11 with the promise of defeating the Taliban. And while the Taliban is now stronger than it has been at any point since the war began, members of the ICC have attempted to call attention to the atrocities people in the country have faced throughout the war. Back in 2017, the Office of the Prosecutor claimed it had evidence proving that from 2003 to 2004, members of the U.S. Armed Forces and members of the CIA committed acts of torture, cruel treatment, outrages upon personal dignity, rape, and sexual violence against conflict-related detainees. Last year, the ICC tried to move forward with an investigation, but the Trump administration responded by revoking the visa of the ICC's chief prosecutor after repeated threats from Pompeo, claiming Washington would do anything possible to stop the court from investigating the U.S. And the threats appeared to work briefly, as judges from the ICC ruled last April that there was no point in moving forward with an investigation if they couldn't guarantee that there would be cooperation. However, that decision has now been overruled. In Manila, Pompeo has previously threatened economic sanctions against the International Criminal Court if they do move forward with investigating the U.S. for war crimes. So now it remains to be seen if he will follow through with that threat.
So now, Rachel, as the ICC launches this investigation, are there concerns about what else they might find?
Well, there are likely major concerns, especially when looking at nearly 2 decades of war where countless civilians have been killed, injured, and displaced at the hands of the U.S. and its allies. The bombings have also drastically increased in recent years. The United Nations confirmed that in 2018, Afghanistan saw the highest number of civilian casualties in a decade. And in 2019, the U.S. and its allies killed more civilians than the Taliban. Now, the war in Afghanistan has continued under 3 administrations, and there have been numerous accusations of corruption, the latest of which came in the form of the Afghanistan Papers. Released late last year, the papers document interviews with top military generals who revealed that the U.S. government has been lying about the war for years. Even though the latest peace agreement promises to bring American troops home, the latest round of bombings from the U.S. raises new questions about whether the longest war in U.S. history will truly come to an end anytime soon. Reporting in the newsroom, Rachel Blevins, RT.